What is going on, YouTube? Back with another video. Currently eating some tuna, as you can see. I have some tuna. I'm on my lunch break, so wanted to make this video about today's trade. Now, I did not wake up at market open. I woke up a bit later, like around 7-ish. But, you know, the important thing is that I woke up and it was in New York AM. And that's still preferably the time I like to trade. So, all good. If I could wake up at 6:30, I will. If I manage to wake up at 7 and get those 30 minutes of sleep, I don't mind that as well. But even then, I kind of don't like trading off market open, just because I don't know. I kind of just don't like trading. Just prefer. It's just like a personal preference not to trade during a market open or like the first 10 minutes. So I guess waking up at 7 is still okay. But we ended up, there's some good trades today actually. And one of the things I started to notice, especially during this market, is just so fast and so reactive. After every push, there's like the next candle. So let's say there's a big move up. Most likely in this market, this big move up, it's gonna be followed by a big move down, and it's just instantly, right? Um, so with that being said, I started to not really leave my runners, or usually I would leave like two runners, but now I cut it down to at least one, and or just not one, but just a little bit less runners in general, just because I noticed like the market is just so reactive. As soon as there's a big move up, there's most likely gonna be a big move down. That's gonna be followed along with it, right? Like for instance, like this big move up right here. This is like a good example, right? We have a big move down, right, and then just boom, just straight back up and then back down. Let me see. Yeah, right here as well. Just big move up and then just coming back straight back down. Um, and this is a trade I actually ended up catching. I entered off of this candle right over here, this 951. Scaled most of my position out here, and then I had drawn out this level, and I scaled basically all of my position out here pretty much too, just because I'm not comfortable really on leaving runners. Just because if I were to leave this runner, it would have stopped. I would break even, and yeah, just because of the thing I just mentioned, right? I just started to notice that the market has just been so reactive, and like as soon as you see a big move up, the following candle most likely is going to be a big move down, and then after that, it's kind of just unpredictable, right? But then again, everything in the market is unpredictable. That's why you should have your edge, and yeah. So let me see. Yeah, like look at this. Like just a big move down, ended up sleeping sell side, and then big move up. Big good candle displacement to the upside, making a fair value gap, gets inviolated, and we're coming straight back down, right? And this is just happening absolutely everywhere. Like move down and then back up, right? I could just keep doing this all day as well. This is a news candle. This is a data low right over here. Was this today? Yeah. So we're gonna be going over the potential trades that I saw today, and yeah. So hopefully you guys ended up taking. Um, so first things first, we could start off with the trade I ended up taking, right? So I had woken up pretty late in the time, and I was kind of just watching the market. I just let it do its thing, and I missed some good trades. I missed some good trades, but again, I was just observing the market, just letting it do its thing. Um, Now I saw this right over here, and I actually was pretty interested in this. Initially, I was just watching price go down, and I saw they were respecting this for value gap. We have a good singular for value gap right over here, and again, I took this trade the um, with the attention and like with me knowing, have how price has been so reactive lately, right? Um, so again, like the example I showed you guys earlier, right? We just have a big move down, and then this move is just followed up by a reaction, and then just continuing just straight back up, right? So I did not want to leave my runners. Um, and with that being said, just having this V shape all the time, I was like, okay, we respect this. This is most likely going to be a V shape. Now, do I want to? If it's going to come back to this level, I don't know. But if it does, I'm fully TPing and getting. I'm literally not going to leave any runners, right? So I left my break even right over here at this high, break even 50% or 75 ish, and I scaled fully out at this position. This was a clean trade. The thing is, I did not wait for candle closure. If I waited for candle closure, the this still would have hit, but obviously it would have been less money, right? Because I would have gotten in right over here, right? But I did not wait for candle closure. Again, the speed has been absolutely crazy. It's been super volatile. So I kind of just took the risk on like, okay, hopefully, I'm not gonna wait for this candle closure. I'm gonna enter here, and let's continue up, right? So I ended up taking the risk, and this trade ended up planning out, which was pretty solid. So that's a good amount on the day, a good way to end the weekend off, right? But I think the trade on the day, it has to do early in the morning, and it's gonna be one of these, right? So first things first, 5:30. So we have data low right over here, right? We have data low right over here. And again, data lows and data highs is just good draw of liquidities. So yeah, data low. This is good draw of liquidity here. Now, where can you have entered in terms of like entering to target this data low, right? First things, you could have entered off of this fair value gap here rejection, right? This did not get inversed, right? So this just is distinguishing bearish order flow. So you could have entered as soon as you've seen like a little bit of momentum, and then potentially just held and targeted data low. So this would have been fine, right? Came back to retest it, and we came back lower. So this would have been good. 113 points, pretty much off. But this was before market open, right? I don't know who's really awake before market open like that, but this was a solid trade to have taken. Now, if you trade inverse for value gaps as well, you could have entered off of this right over here, and your trade would have looked something like this off of this candle closure. Stop loss right over here, right? So your trade will look something like this. Again, really solid. Now, in terms of when market actually opened, so market opened right over here. We get pretty much a big move down, and then it gets instantly wiped out. Now, I don't know if there is an SMT here with that. Let me go ahead and check that for you guys. No, there's no SMT here. There's no SMT, but here you do see that ES is bouncing off of a fair value gap here. Pretty much NQ is doing the same thing. Here you do have a fair value gap. Pretty much, yeah, I don't think it closed under. Yeah, it didn't. It's really by the tick, right? Not only that, you also have this fair value gap here as well. So this basically counts as a fair value gap here. Again, you just have multiple fair value gaps here. Like, look at this, right? So all of these fair value gaps lining up. This would have been an okay long. I don't know how. Yeah, this would have been okay long just because of order flow. You didn't really sweep out anything. There's no SMT down here at the lows. So you honestly could have entered off of this candle closure and potentially just target all these low resistance liquidity right over here, right? None of these highs got taken out, right? So you could have actually targeted all of this, and this would have played out perfectly fine as well, right? So your trade would have looked something like this. You would have been in a little bit of drawdown, Now this is one of the trades I would be light in size, just because of how big this fair value gap is. Like, look at this. This is 52 points, right? If I was full in size, this would have, if it actually if the trade ended up going against me, this would have been a lot of money, right? So this is a trade where I would be low in size, just because if it wanted to come back down, I want to feel comfortable, risking a good amount, right, and just having the trade breathe. Um, so yeah, now so that was a good trade, and I think after market open, I think this would have been the better trade. Um, so we ended up sweeping this high. No, we did not. Is there an SMT here as well? No SMT. No SMT here. We're not really okay. Yeah. No, there's no SMT here. There's no sweep of liquidity. There's no nothing. We ended up just coming back down. See, this is what I'm telling you guys, right? Like, look at this. So we're just going down, and we're going back up, and then we're pretty much just going back down again, and then just continue down, and then we're going back up, down, right? It's just really fast, right? Just V shapes everywhere. Um, so this trade would have been mostly off of order flow as well, right? So you do have this for value gap here, ends up getting tapped once and twice actually. Um, there is no change in state of delivery here. Let me check on the 5 minute. I lost myself. Yeah, there is no change in state of delivery here. Yeah. So you just have this for value gap here, good rejection here. Um, Now the enter here, but you basically could have entered if you're looking to be bearish. You honestly could have entered right as soon as you saw as soon as you saw price starting to flow out. I would say at least the 50% mark, just because you don't want your stop loss to be like this. I mean, you can have your stop losses be like this, but the important thing is to size accordingly, right? Um, you just want to make sure you have the trade has some room to breathe. But I think 50% here would have been okay. If you entered here, you would have been fine. You could have targeted, these lows down here, right? So this would have been a good trade as well. Now, in terms of inverse fair value gaps, where is the trade, right? Now, the inverse fair value gap trade would be this fair value gap here that we had drawn earlier, right? Again, this is just bearish order flow, right? So initially, let me see. Um, where's the drawing tool? Right here, right? So one tap, we have two taps here. For value gap here, gets tapped again, right? So this is just bearish order flow, right? This is just bearish order flow that price wants to continue lower. Now you could have entered off of these taps, but if you do trade inverse for value gaps, where would the trade be, right? So the trade would be off of this BPR that we have right over here, right? BPR is two for value gaps lining up with each other. So we do have a BPR right over here. We get a candle closure. Now the thing is, where are you aiming for, right? Like these lows are pretty far, right? But I mean, this could have been a good TP as well. If I can get it. Why can't I get it? There you go. Right. So this would have been what you would have been looking for. So you could have entered off of this for value gap here, off of this candle closure, and you would have been in actually no drawdown, right? So you could have entered here, stop loss, a little bit above this BPR maybe. Again, make sure to size accordingly, right? And yeah, this trade would have ran, right? This trade would have ran. And again, look at this. After a big move up, we just have good momentum coming back up. But where does price land? Price retraces back into this BPR, wicks it, gives a good rejection off of it, distinguishing more bearish order flow, right? So with this being said, where would the entry be off for this one, right? So the entry would be off right over here, off of this for value gap. Could enter it here. See, we keep tapping it, and as we break through it with a good expansion candle. Now the expansion candles are the ones that make it for value gap when breaking the low, right? As you can see here, this has made a fair value gap while breaking this low. So your trade here would have been at this candle closure, stop loss. So this is in terms of RR, because all of these fair value gaps have been pretty massive, right? So you would have had a pretty big risk reward ratio. But I think in terms of RR, this one was the better trade, right? And you do have some engineered lows here compared to targeting these engineered lows that are far left. These are way too far, right? This is way too far, right? So with that being said, I think this trade is the better trade of the day, right? Now, if you're trying to catch the reverse here, right, and assuming you want to see a buy side model play out, like right over here, that's pretty dumb. I think you should be trading with the model, especially if it's telling you that price wants to go lower, right? Here is telling you that price wants to go lower, and how can you tell? It's just because, we come back to these fair value gaps here and we never close above them, right? We just have rejection off of rejection off of rejection off of these fair value gaps, right? So bearish order flow, trade with the trend, right? Now, where's your entry? Off of this inverse fair value gap, right over here, candle closure, right? You could have moved your stop loss to break even as soon as we ended up taking this low. And look at this, right? 200 points. Absolutely wild, right? This is 200 points right over here. So I think this was the better trade of the day. I did not take that. And yeah, I actually traded on my phone. Yeah, I have bad habits. I was trading on my phone in bed, not even on my laptop. I definitely gotta lock in and really just do like the 1 2 3 method. Just get up and then just go to my computer, right? But waking up is just so hard. Waking up and getting out of bed is hard, right? Especially because it's like a cold morning. Oh my! I have like the tiger blanket right now. Oh, it's amazing. But yeah. So this would have been the better trade of the day for 200 points. I think this is the trade of the day, right? I ended up taking this small little scalp, right? I got my money out. And if you're wondering what this level is, by the way, this level is this 400, hour, 4-hour engineered low, right? So I had this 4-hour low here tagged out. And the reason why I was tagging it is just because you keep turtle swooping it. Look at this. Sweep, 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 sweep. We never closed above it. And now we're basically in this range, right? And remember of me telling you guys that price keeps going up and then that's followed by a move down. Right? And the move down would probably be long, right? And then after this move down, it would just be a move back up, right? So that is explaining this range right over here and why we keep turtle souping it. I hope you guys are understanding that. I hope I suck at explaining, but I hope you guys are understanding that. But that basically explains why we're in this range, and that's why I marked out this 4-hour here, just because we keep turtle souping it nonstop. So that was the trade recap for today, guys, and that is also why I had this level drawn out, right? So, and then I fully TP'd out here, right? So this was a calm little scalp. Got my money, got out. So it's good, right? End of the week off. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Probably be dropping a video throughout the weekend. And probably be like a psychology and just like a point of view video or whatever. But I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video.